The international monetary system that now prevails around the world did not drop out of the sky. It didn't come from Baghdad, it didn't come from Mombasa. Where did it come from? Before we examine that international monetary system, let's find out who is the author, who are the architects. And for that I have, with your permission, to take you to the Qur'an, to Surah Al-Ma'idah of the Qur'an, to answer the question, who is the architect of the modern international monetary system? Who is the architect of the modern international political system with the United Nations? And before that, the League of Nations. Who are those who have given this to the world? بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض ومن يتوله منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Surah Al-Ma'idah. If we use the wrong methodology, if you'll excuse me, do not take the Jews and do not take the Christians as your friends and allies. We have Christians here who are doing the recording for me. Do not take the Jews and do not take the Christians as your friends and allies. They are friends and allies of each other. That doesn't sound true to me at all. I don't know about you. Jews and Christians were never friends and allies of each other. The Christians accuse the Jews of having committed the ultimate crime of killing God himself. Can't do worse than that. And so there was always enmity and hostility between Christians and Jews. Do not take the Jews and do not take the Christians as your friends and allies. They are friends and allies of each other. And whosoever from amongst you turn to them, friendship and alliance belong to them. And Allah does not provide guidance for a people who commit dhulm. That's the wrong methodology. Now let us go to the rest of the Qur'an, where Allah permits a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman. Except of course in Malaysia. Allah permits a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman. So after you marry her with this wrong methodology, you're going to have to say to her, sweetheart, you can only be my wife, you can't be my friend. That's where you learn with wrong methodology. You can't have an alliance with any Christians or any Jews. But then what was the Mithaq of Medina? Was that not an agreement, a contract, a treaty, which including Muslims and Jews and pagan Arabs? Contracted by the Prophet himself, alayhi salatu wasalam. We are heading into troubled waters now. And then in the Qur'an Allah tells us, لَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّا نَصَارَى. And you'll certainly find those who have the most love for you to be those who say we are Christians. And you're going to say to them, we can't be friends. We can't have an alliance with you. Sounds as though we're getting into even more troubled waters now with this defective translation of the verse. Well then, what is the meaning of the verse? It is when you go to the totality of the data in the Qur'an, which we cannot do in this short address. that we realize that no, this is not what the verse is saying. Do not take such Jews and such Christians as your friends and allies. Not all Jews. No. A Jew who is opposing the state of Israel, opposing its oppression, who is supporting the Palestinians in their struggle for liberation from oppression. Why, in the name of all the heavens above, why can't he be your friend? Where has reason gone? Why can't we live as friends and neighbors with Christians and with Jews who are not hostile to Islam? Why? Do not take such Jews and such Christians as your friends and allies who ba'aduhum awliya'u ba'd, who themselves are friends and allies of each other. The Qur'an is anticipating an event which is to occur when a strange and mysterious reconciliation will take place between some Christians and some Jews, and a Jewish friendship, Jewish-Christian or Judeo-Christian friendship and alliance will emerge. The Qur'an is anticipating that event. And the Qur'an is saying to us, do not be friends and allies of that Judeo-Christian alliance. But you would never have got this meaning unless you had used the proper methodology. And whosoever turns to them, that Judeo-Christian alliance, which it is very easy to recognize has already emerged, and it is bonded by Zionism. Whoever turns to them to be their friends and allies, like Hosni Mubarak, is that his name? Seems to have forgotten his name now. Like Parvez Musharraf, is that his name? Seems to have forgotten his name now. Whosoever from amongst you turn to them with friendship and alliance, فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ, he belongs to them. He's no longer part of us. So we need a new theology. We need a new theology for Akhirul Zaman. Inna Allah la yahdi al-qawma adh-dhalimin. Allah will not provide guidance for a people who have this as their trademark. Dhulm. So the Judeo-Christian alliance would have as its trademark that it commits dhulm after dhulm after dhulm. That Judeo-Christian alliance is responsible for giving to the world modern Western civilization. Modern Western civilization did not drop out of the sky. It has not emerged in history by accident. No. There is an architect, and this is the architect. That Judeo-Christian alliance has given to the world the modern scientific and technological revolution. They are at the heart of it. That Judeo-Christian alliance, the Zionist alliance, has given to the world the international monetary system that we now have. It didn't drop out of the sky. And the Qur'an has forbidden us from being a part of that international monetary system which has come from them. And the Qur'an has informed us, if we join them, we become a part of them, we belong to them. Having answered that question, from whence has the international monetary system emerged? Now let us proceed to describe it. Does money have integrity? Huh? Are we going to bring the Department of Moral Philosophy now into the Department of Monetary Economics? When you ask the monetary economist the question, he runs for cover. He says, they didn't teach me that at university. Does money have integrity? Is there such a thing as true money and false money? Is there such a thing as money with integrity and money which is bogus and fraudulent? Is there such a thing as, excuse the language, I don't know whether you're familiar with the term, is there such a thing as Sharia compliant money? You never heard that one before, huh? Is there you know the bastion of Sharia compliance? They're parading the streets now. Anywhere you turn, Sharia compliant. So, excuse me, sir, can I have a word with you? We're very busy. We've got a lot of work to do. I only want 1 minute, sir. Is there such a thing as money which is Sharia compliant? They turn around and they run away. They're no different from the monetary economist, which is PhD from Harvard. They turn around and they run away. Yes, of course, money must have integrity. Yes, of course, there's halal money and there's haram money. Yes, of course. And when we turn to the international monetary system, which emerged for purposes of making the lecture short from Bretton Woods, the conference which took place in upstate New York. At the end of that conference, there emerged an agreement. It is puzzling to me that no one as yet has made a critical study of the Bretton Woods Accord from the perspective of the Sharia. It is puzzling and baffling to me that no one as yet has made a study of the Charter of the United Nations Organization from the perspective of the Sharia. It is puzzling and baffling to me that no one as yet has made a critical study of the Articles of Agreement of the International Monetary Fund from the perspective of the Sharia. Perhaps we can urge some bright PhD student to take up these subjects.